afternoon, or maybe it's good evening, maybe it's good morning. It doesn't really matter where you are. All that matters is that you are here with the free enterprise community. I'm so happy to be doing commentary for you today with our Community Club Showcase. And speaking of the Community Club Showcase, we are with your captain and mine, the creator of these flags, Alchemy. Alchemy, how are you doing today?
Hello, I'm doing just fine. Today is it's one of the nicer flag sets. Thankfully, it's Rosa's turn to shine again, but this time as a white mage instead of whatever weird archer thing I did the other time. Don't worry about it.
Well, I think that we're going to probably see two facets of Rosa today. I think we will be seeing arching Rosa, at least in the early part of this game. We have two archer kits and a money kit. With that archer kit, there's a good chance of getting a solid bow and a smaller chance of getting some decent arrows. With the money kit, with T Wildish and S Wild, I think that we'll be seeing Murder Rosa pretty early on, whether she finds a heroine robe or a black belt or something along that line.
So here's the thing, I realized about it like today in the race room, like this seed, like it has Cecil as an objective. So, and it's T Wildish and S Wild. And the other part is Adamants are on, something I thought, oh wow, this is kind of like adjacent to the Adamant Cup, like first day flexes. It is very similar in the sense that you find Adamant Crystal Cecil and you just beat the seed.
That is true. Adamants are on. Spoon Flag is on. If inexplicably, with perma join, someone decides to take Edward, but that's a personal problem. We do have someone pointing out in chat. We noticed this earlier. While this is a randomizer, Possum has clearly decided to randomize the names as well. So just be aware of that.
Yes, look at the sprites, not the characters. I'm sure you'll be fine with the twins.
yeah. Green, orange, it's all the same, right? So, given the fact that we have permajoin and looking at the objectives and see Hero Rosa, how would you begin the seed?
You loot and check shops immediately, unlike characters. Like, you find... Well, okay, so that just doesn't count, okay? That says it doesn't count for the objective, but you already have Cecil. Good start.
We have a quasi vanilla. Like if Odin was actually still the king, that'd be interesting.
Samurai bow and Elben bow. That's just about two of the three best bows in the game from the archer kits, and like that was close to maximum GP you can get from the money kit. So our racers are loaded for this one.
That's correct. The money kit goes from 20,000 to 80,000. Some might say that's a big bag of money. So we're going to go ahead and see if they spend it on S Wild and try to find maybe some gear for Rosa, especially. Maybe not so much for TK for Dark Knight Cecil this early, but our racers have a lot of options for sure.
Yeah. So since three characters are on, you can just like do a tour of the overworld and. It's likely that there will be a second Cecil somewhere. Since he has already, I'm pretty sure that he's guaranteed to be a second Cecil at somewhere. But since he already has shown up as the partner character, he might be hidden behind a key item. So I guess we'll see.
We will see. So, there might be a second Cecil, but it is worth noting. Oh man, Possum with those names. That's going to be a thing for me today. Oh man, it's so mean. It's hilarious.
Sonya wants to join the party.
It's so mean. It's hilarious. There are no dupes in this flag set, so we will only be getting this one Cecil, and they both have taken it, and it is.
Well,
oh, there's
there
Crystal
it is. There's the crystal sword that you were looking for. Okay, I was talking about this the other day. Like it's like Possum this power shirts on the armor shop. Mysidia is the place to be, folks.
Mysidia is the place to be. My goodness gracious. Oh, that's hilarious. It's so good.
Some grimoires, it's S Wild without any kind of like selling restriction flags feels like cheating, honestly.
Yeah, I didn't notice. Did Possum hard reset out where that Tela is? or did he flat out say no?
I don't know, actually. I think he already said no to both of them, so it will be silly to reset out of it.
Yeah.
Like,
Go ahead.
Like with starting pass, it's you don't even need to take, like, there is a good chance that you don't even have to set foot on the moon.
That's true. That's very true. Possum just found a heroin robe. So
there it is.
Rosa's good to go. Between that samurai bow and a heroin robe, this early part of the game is not going to be much. She'll be doing the heavy lifting until Cecil becomes paladin. And then I wonder how much looting we're going to see in hopes of just being able to sell things to get that crystal sword, which really makes the seed very jetty.
Yeah, like this was one of the three like starting flag sets that I had devised for the club, and this one's probably the second to easiest flag set that I have in the club. It uses grab Cecil and go pretty much. So and it has like all the freebies, like almost. The only thing that's not free is the key item from Bedwars. You still have to fight demons.
Mhm.
The chests are super good. The shops are super good. You get a lot of money. So it's just a matter of like so it has a low skill floor right there, Cecil.
Yeah, so that'll be the first objective for CS Radical, since he has gone ahead and found his Cecil, so that's one objective for him.
The main objective for this one. No, that's not the correct command. That's okay. I can explain. The main objective for this one is that in battle, you are not allowed to use healing items on your party because you already have Rosa.
That can be life glitches on, so that might be a spot where they're most tempted to break it.
No. Your party, the enemy party is okay.
Oh, see?
See what I did there? It's a card game.
There it is. See, I gotta read. Anyone that's ever listened to me on comms knows I don't count HP, and now we're pointing out that I can't read either. I don't know what I'm doing here.
Possum is going to check the character and also raise the hook, while CS Radical is looting the wary way. That's a good call.
Yeah, CS Radical is going all the way through, which normally you don't do without exit because it takes an awful long time to walk out. I wonder if he picked up an exit that I missed, or if he ended up taking that Tella.
I mean, yep, there's the Tella. So GMP glitch is on, so you can MP glitch Tella for him to have like infinite MP pretty much.
Yeah,
so
the underflow.
The EMP underflow glitch. That's the correct name. Thank you.
Yep. You'll see that often in the speed run because Tella tends to go ahead and during the speed run go a little bit ham at that part of the game when you still have him. As Possum finds his Cecil, so now both of our restreamed runners have their first objective completed.
No, sorry, that's Rosa. It says right there.
Oh, my bad. See, I don't read. There it is.
You focus on what matters.
If it's not reading, if it's not numbers, what does matter? Oh, my goodness. So, at what point do you start knocking out, looking for key items here? I feel like...
as soon as I've checked every single free character spot in the other world, I start checking key items, honestly.
So would you go to Ordeals first to get that character, knowing that you have a Dark Knight Cecil and you want to get them online? Yeah.
Okay, like, I think, like, Tella is kind of weak yet. Like, that's the thing, dude. I might want to get some levels on Rosa, or like find an Artemis bow if I can, like which is not it's easier said than done.
Right, that is a tier 6. It is T wildish, but it still might be a bit.
Yes, it is pretty rare, but it might show up in a shop and you have a lot of cash. So
that is true. And anyone that watches Possum streams knows that he does enjoy a good Ordeals grind, so that might be something as well.
That's
That's
quorum.
quorum.
You can't lie to me, Possum. I'm on to you.
Speaking of grinds, well, no, with only 2 characters, you can't do an orc grind here. That would result in death.
You can try, but it wouldn't go very well.
Yeah, I counted to 2 that time. Cecil doing his Cecil best on that attacker while Rosa takes care of things.
Honestly, I will be tempted to pick up that Sid, grab a good axe, and rush Ordeals with the Rosa.
Even with permajoin?
Yes, because like Cecil at that point doesn't matter. You know what I mean? He's just a body in the party. As soon as I have Crystal Sword Cecil, like Sid doesn't matter. Like Rosa and Cecil are the only 2 party members that matter. Everyone else is just like taking up space, important space, but taking
That's
up
true.
space.
And honestly, later on, you could just kill him and then have that be your anchor.
No, because this is Sea Hero. That's how it works for folks.
For Sid. Oh, because it's Sea Hero for the agility. See, I don't know.
I mean, that means that you can put Sid in the middle slot and have him not anchor, and also have him deal some pretty decent damage with those axes for the accuracy bonus that you get in the center slot. So it's not that bad. Like picking up Sid, it's just like I feel that's like a cool power play to do in this flag set, since it's so. I don't want to see Jetty because that's different, but it's so high power that you want to get that power as early as possible.
For sure. I believe that that headband is nice. I don't think that C buy is on, so I think that our runners can go ahead and pick up these characters whenever they see fit.
Correct.
That Soma drop, if CS Radical ends up finding it, will be good for Tello to get them to 100 if he chooses not to necessarily use the underflow glitch. And CS Radical has checked both of our waterfall and mist spots looking for demist, I assume, and has come up empty on both.
Oh boy, I sure hope Demis isn't hiding somewhere wacky with an important thing.
Mm-hmm.
Thing is, both K Samung and K Moon are on, so it's perfectly possible for, I don't know, the Sand Ruby to be on the moon or something.
You could definitely see some very interesting chains. That's absolutely true. Even though the equipment might make it seem kind of jetty, and with the quality of our restream runners, they can make it look kind of jetty. It doesn't mean that it might not be a little bit laborious to get from point A to B to C to D to E.
Yeah, so it's easy to get into this flag set. That's why I have it set as a 2 out of 10 difficulty. But to excel in the flag set, since it's so easy to get powerful and to defeat any challenges that you may face in turn, it rewards the execution way more. Because as soon as you get that power, the seed turns into basically a checklist, pretty much, that you go through. So how you get through that checklist is the most important part, and I think that's very interesting for our racers.
100%, and it's always great to watch how people route and go ahead and, oh, Possum's got the twin heart. It's always interesting to see how people go ahead and choose to route. Speaking of execution, so you have Dark Imps at the Antline spot, which isn't great for the runners. They want to find that at a more difficult spot. Possum doing a great job of timing out the ATB with his Black Sword attack to trigger the swoon, and just those little things just save time along the way.
Yeah, like you might think that Dark Knight Cecil is useless, but even in these, low level Dark Knight Cecil, like Black Sword is a great item, and a great racer just uses all of its tools in the toolkit.
For sure. I think that's part of the fun for a lot of these racers is seeing, it's a puzzle. These seeds every single time are a giant puzzle, trying to find the best way to get from point A to point B.
Indeed. And the thing is that CS Radical has Stella, so he can exit out of the Antlion Cave.
Yeah, that's a significant. I mean, those exits can be a pretty good time save. The only way Rosa is going to get exit, of course, is if she completes the Tower of Zot, which might not necessarily happen. Awesome, doing a little inventory management there. I thought he might pick up a few.
There's the arrows.
Coffins, but yeah, those samurai arrows are going to do some work. So look for Rosa to be just absolutely shredding bosses early on in this game.
Indeed. I mean, like Xenocat mentions, it's going to happen because Sod is an objective and it's 5 out of 5. So Rosa's going to learn exit sometime. Probably sooner than later, but you don't know that. That's the thing.
Yeah, Rando's gonna rando. Possum shopped at Fabul and did not defend Fabul. Is now going back to Mysidia. I'll see what he saved up for here. Does he have enough? Oh, he does. Okay. Well, next stop, Ordeals. Alchemy, what do we think?
Absolutely. We want that Cecil online as early as possible.
And with a beautiful landing, Possum is on its way up. Looks like CS Radical has a similar idea, doing quite a bit of inventory management himself, possibly trying to save up eventually for that crystal sword. Also not opting for any kind of coffins.
Like, that's the thing. The crystal sword, you know, being literally the best weapon in the game, it is pretty expensive.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if we find any adamant for shop in the shop as well. Speaking of expensive, it'd be fun to see. You end up with adamant armor, crystal sword, Cecil. That's a decent amount of safety for the rest of the seed, I would imagine.
You know, Possum's a fan of jokes. Possum's a jokester. What if he duos this seed? What if he goes power couple, only Rosa and Cecil all the way to Cerberus?
I mean, that seems like a very Possum thing to do.
Right? Sure. Right? That's a very Possum thing to do. I wouldn't be shocked.
Possum, I believe, has... there's elements. I think Possum picked up a lot of the elemental arrows. He did. So he's going to be very, very quick work of this. Also being smart not to put Rosa into the center slot so that they can utilize aim.
Oh, yeah. Is Mylon floating here? Or no, I don't think Mylon's floating. It's elements, but he's weak to fire. So there you go. Bye.
That's that. We have CS Radical that did opt to defend Fabul and is coming across a little bit of a rude Leviathan over there.
Yeah, like this early in the game, Ice 2 is still Ice 2, so it is pretty rough.
For sure. We're just trying to get party members back up. You have to watch for that wave though. It'll do a quarter of the damage, so Cecil's going to hold on for deal life here.
Back attack, again?
Without a protect ring, murder Rosa. This would be a little gross. I mean, it is a little gross, but I don't foresee this being that much of an issue.
Yeah, those arrows are doing massive damage.
They really are. And so Cecil at this point, I think, is just serving as a hit me, not her situation.
Yes, I mean, just having a body to get hit is really important.
Yeah, that vampire rolled high.
Yeah. Oh, CS Radical is through that Leviathan. Very nice. It was a pretty tough fight, but he pulled through.
And Rosa will get that XP because she's the hero, so no worries on that.
Ooh.
Oh no!
No, Vikings explode! So rude.
And as I was watching Rosa meet her demise, I missed the item that came out of...
Ooh, it seems to be a magma key from a tracker.
A little underground access.
That's very, very easy underground access. Very nice.
So if Possum is hoping to find underground access elsewhere to try to one-trip Fabul by getting a pan or elsewhere, that's not going to be available to him, unfortunately.
Possum used Vampire on Vigan before he had the wall up. That's so funny.
He tried to do that the first time as well, but unfortunately...
It's extra funny because, you know, there's the meta objective that says that, you know, can't use healing items to heal like HP on your party members. But Possum, being the sneaky mammal that he is, uses a vampire to heal Cecil. It's just so funny to me.
Sneaky mammal is something I'm going to say out of context in real life from now on. I just want you to know that. I'll try to give you credit if I remember.
Sure, don't worry about it.
My goodness, that's phenomenal. All right, so Rosa will be soloing Ordeals now that he's through Bygan. He's going to swag walk it. There's not a lot here that scares me if I'm him.
I have a Wyvern with petrification spell. No, Herring Rope. Yeah, I think this is fine.
Meanwhile, CS Radical is finding some good stuff. Hourglasses, exits, and life spells at Silveria.
Ooh.
Oh,
There's the pan. That's useful.
Oh, this is a little gross. Does he have any J items?
Yeah, that's important on Sea Hero, keeping a few G items around. Yeah, there's a Total Rage, very nice. Not enough. I mean, at this point, you just shoot it. It's fine.
And that's that.
Right.
Dolls.
Usually, it's such like a big deal. Like, oh no, the dolls, like the big doll showed up or whatever. But you know, this is Ordeals 3. It's fine.
Yeah, and agility-wise, you want to be faster in the overworld as a general rule, and that heroine robe is an extra 15 agility. So that definitely allowed Rosa to get a turn off before all 6 dolls kicked in. And
Heroine robe is basically like half an adamant armor, and that's sick.
Yeah, if anyone ever watches any of the omnidextrous flags where anyone can wear anything anywhere, you will often see people just try to find heroine robes to go ahead and stack up.
CS Radical thinking about that Yang. Oh, took it.
That's interesting.
I mean, with all this high power, yeah, there you go. Just put that equipment right on Jiang. He's gonna be doing some pretty good punches, and Jiang starts with the Fire Claw, so that's gonna do quick work of the elements too.
Sure, and with that Tela, should he find the Darkness Crystal early, we refer to Yang as a punch mage because Yang's attack power is very much reliant on his levels. So if you bang out a quick grind, you have a very powerful melee character.
Yep. Possum again, like you mentioned Brick, like Possum or Geo's grind. There he is. He's going at it.
Yeah, if I had to guess, he might be trying to get Rosa up to Berserk. Because Zerking Cecil will, lead to death of most things.
Indeed. It's just... I seriously wonder if he's gonna pick up another character. Like, that's... I wonder.
I mean, maybe Possum is a romantic at heart and just wants a true love story. We do have Valentine's Day next week, right?
So, during X, Possum only has 2 characters because he wants to only have 2 characters. Like that's the thing. And he only has 2 characters because those are the only 2 characters that matter in this flag set. Like, being real.
I'm sorry, Goober. My bad. Single Awareness Day. Okay, as a representative of that particular demographic, that's you right. My apologies, my lord.
Ooh, and Possum is gonna find the magma key shortly. While CS Radical did quick work of the elements, and now he's facing against back attack Baigang. Ugh.
Yeah, but more targets for Baigang to hit there, so in some ways this fight might be a little bit easier. It's interesting that as soon as Possum got the pan, he immediately then went to Fabul, instead of going to Baron Inn, where they might have found underground access that way.
Yeah, there is a temptation of single dipping Fabul there. Like, I spent less time overall in Fabul because I don't have to go there twice, right? It's not the checking the pan rewards that takes the most time. It's actually the travel time between locations. It's like going to Fabul 2 times, 3 times. Mm-hmm. So resisting the temptation of finding another underground access and going here, he might just be avoiding the harp, honestly.
I mean, that sounds right. But honestly, with the way this party is set up, he obviously only has 2 characters, but he has 2 incredibly powerful, well-equipped characters. You might be right, my friend. We might be watching a duo just shred this seed.
Like, again, like Possum's the kind of person that really likes jokes and might go for it.
It is. One thing, as Possum has underground, it is worth noting that the warp glitch is on. So while once CS Radical gets through Ordeals, he will have a Tela that has warp, And that might have a key item like part of the forge or a sand ruby or an earth crystal or a baron key. Awesome if he continues to only have these two characters will not have access to that particular set of spells.
Indeed. So if there's anything in Sealed Cave, Possum's gonna have to grab that Luca key and go down there unless he picks someone with warp.
Yeah. I mean, you know, who's to say that a Fu won't pop out of Dwarf Castle?
Will he pick up that food? I'm still wondering if Possum's doing a funny here. I wonder. Or if he's legit just waiting for Edge and Fusoya. Like, in Possum's playstyle, from what I've seen in this club before, has been get a party as soon as possible and just stick with it. But so far, he's been like avoiding everyone. So I wonder.
Yeah. And there is a mantra with these races, which is do your freebies. And he will have two down here, one at the Fey March and one that he's getting right now with the Panbonk.
Xenocat fighting on each other.
All right, you know Xenocat, enough. Okay.
Possum already ditch Edge and Fusoya, technically.
No gaslighting in the comms booth, my friend, okay? I'm confused enough as is.
Since Radical doing a fantastic Bygam fight, and since he had 4 characters, no exploding arms did any surprises this time.
Yep. So he will be finding his dolls at the altar very shortly.
There's Baron Key, that's required. Wow.
It is, and that's 3 more boss checks for Demas. That's another shop. Not that they need anything else at this point. And another character, not that Possum will ever take him.
Yeah.
So from one freebie to the next, going down to the Fey March, I have to imagine that he'll definitely, at a minimum, peak the bosses. Levels are low, for sure, but with the gear that these characters have, you have to wonder if they're going to try it. Or if he's going to try anything here.
Indeed.
Because these spots are rude. The Fey March spots are deceptively rude. You know, in some ways they can be a lot ruder than some even the moon spots. But you get to it so relatively early in these seeds that you sometimes you forget until you start to do it.
Nice Earth Hammer.
Oh yeah. Seed's over. And he wishes he had that Sid right now.
Ooh, Sirens in the Fey March shop.
Only taken 3 and some cabins.
Like, the thing about the Fey March is that the Leviathan spot has amazing physical attack power, and the Astera spot has really good, like really powerful magic power. So it like, depending on which bosses are there, it can be pretty tricky.
For sure, and they're fast, and you know, Leviathan, 35,000 HP. I mean, these spots can be gross, really gross sometimes. Let's see what we got.
Well, that's okay, I guess.
Val at the Asura spot is not... Val anywhere is not ideal.
Yeah, but at least it's Leviathan doing punches for like a 1,400 damage or more.
Yeah. I have to imagine Possum's hoping for Mylon Z here. Does not get it. And there it is.
I mean,
so
you do have Rosa with aim, so it might take a while, but...
True. Rosa has to be alive to use aim. If he had a crystal armor or an adamant armor, he was going for kind of those cover strats, only healing up Cecil. And the crystal sword would have done just work on Mylon Z. You know, three or four swings and it's done. But all 4 of those ghouls or whatever they are would have been very punchy, as you said. So it looks like we're going to get a grind here instead.
I wonder what the damage split on the ghouls are like. I don't know if they actually punch. Thinking about it, do they punch or do they only vampire or drain? I think they do drain.
I think it is drain also, but it would probably, I don't know. Ooh, it didn't kill it on the first try. Uh-oh.
They chose to punch instead of thunder them. Wow, lucky Possum.
So while Possum does a bit of a mini grind here, CS Radical has now pan in hand going underground, and we'll see what routing he chooses to take under in the underground.
Like, we still don't know what's in Twin Harp and also in at Barangay. Is to forget Barangay.
Yep, that's another item for sure, and he'll probably be routing in Baron in with, because he has the Baron key, so that's you know. Oh, hello, Zeus Gauntlet.
I mean, no, go on.
Yeah, so I'm just saying that'll probably be a one-stop shop for him, and if he's going to take on the Baron basement, which can be a little trickier, he might want to get through these trap chests, possibly get an adamant or something handy, and the XP before going over there.
Yeah, the thing is on a seed that has both Liberate Baron Castle and Complete Tower Assault as required objectives. I feel like for myself, if I can do it, I would love to do Assault into Baron because of the routing that does. Since once you beat Tower Assault, the game just puts you down in front of Baron Castle anyways. But waiting too long for the Earth Pistol might be like detrimental. We don't know.
It's all totally fair. Speaking of okay, well,
here it is. Wow, look at that, Cecil.
Crystal Sword, Adamant Armor, Zeus Gauntlet, Cecil.
Also a headband, just in case. So a little bit of strength, like on the strength shaker, on top of the wonderful meal.
Yeah, it's the headband that's gonna make it go. Well, that's the.
Folks, this is by design. Nothing weird going on here.
So we'll get two more checks here. The Sheila 1 and 2, since Possum already has the pan and did the bunk.
So CS Radical finding his wonderful Earth Hammer. I doubt he's gonna be happy seeing Val there.
Probably not. Let's see what we got here from Fabul. We got a package. And another objective.
Wow, this is looking jettier. I mean, it's not yet set until we have go mode, but it's looking jettier and jettier by the time.
Yeah, they have the pass already, so we're still missing both parts of Forge and the Earth Crystal, so we definitely have a ways to go.
And those again could be anywhere.
I'm gonna write down. I wonder if Possum was looking for Adamant specifically. Then he went there.
Let's see who's sleeping and if Possum takes them. That's okay. Soya. Does he? Come on.
I mean, honestly, if for no other reason than for the warp glitch. Right? I mean, if Rosa and Cecil are nucleoids, don't they need a mop for their new house?
There we go.
So I wonder if he held off doing Dwarf while he was down there, specifically for warp. I don't know.
Ooh, see, I think CS Radical just got like I don't know where CS Radical found that Artemis bow for Rosa, but that's really good.
That is handy. I think he was doing the math there for that 215,000. Was debating buying some sirens and then realized that if he bought too many, then he wouldn't be able to go ahead and buy the Crystal Sword later on.
Yeah, most likely.
So.
Doing that grind early on, like that's one thing sirens have over D machines is that you can like split your grinds. You can do a grind early on, and then let boss EXP carry you, so you save on time and money. Golbez.
But Adamant Armor and Heron Robe, and two characters. So I mean, this is gonna be quick.
It's gonna make Rosa not get paralyzed, but the Shadow Dragon. Oh wait, it's only 2 people alive. Never mind.
I counted. I did it, Alchemy. I counted on a seed. I did. I'm very proud of myself right now.
Good job.
Thank you. Oh man. And
Meal
even
time, Shadow. Hi, Shadow.
Shadow, like myself, is on a diet, I think. Oh man.
There's his Radical's Baron Key. I wonder if he's gonna chase that right away, like as soon as he steps out of the pool.
It's very possible. Seed has been relatively linear, but we shall see.
All right, holy, huh?
Yeah. It's not very often you get to see back-to-back quad 9s, but there it is.
Here it is.
Oh man. If he takes an Edward, I'll be so incredibly disappointed in him.
We don't have a book, so that's for later. Ooh, Sis Radical, I think, bought the crystal sword. He's ready.
Yes, he is. And possibly making the Sophie's choice of decisions not to go ahead and take Eddie.
I mean, if we had Spoon in hand, that might have like changed.
I mean,
because
yes.
Adam and Armor Spoon board Eddie is a force to be reckoned.
That's fair. There's some Silk Web, Star Veils. This is a good shot. There is a glitch in the game that if you remove the adamant armor from a character, then that character becomes doubly susceptible to elemental damage.
That is
so
correct.
removing the adamant. So you might think like, all right, I have 2 crystal swords, right? You got a Spoon with adamant Eddie, and then you'll have a an actual crystal sword Cecil. But because the adamant armor has already gone on Cecil, that might be a deterrent. Also, Eddie's terrible. I'm sorry, I have issues.
No. I get it, but who said anything about like adamant armor being removed from Cecil? No one said that.
Well, I'm saying if you're going to take, if you take Eddie, the only reason is because Spoon Flag is on and you have an adamant. I mean, that's the only logical reason that you would take this particular character.
I mean, you can find a second adamant armor. That's the thing.
This is true. I wouldn't want to carry.
We haven't exchanged the pink tail yet. That's a thing.
That is true. We also don't have a hook, which might not necessarily be required, although we do have a rat tail.
Yep. The thing is, I was gonna say something and then it left my head. Whoops.
Oh man, well that crystal sword's doing a lot of work.
Yup. Seems Radical thinking about it. You have tail already. Oh, there it is. Heart is full.
And there is no permadeath, so that is CS Radical's party.
Indeed.
Some sort of guards have taken over the castle here.
Oh wow. It's a coup.
The Baron guards and the Baron castle.
And another thing you can do in this flag set is grab an edge and then buy light swords or Excaliburs or something and then throw them. Because what?
Alchemy. How do you do this?
I just like have so much money. Like as long as you're willing to keep looting, you can keep throwing nonsense at the enemy. Or the spoon.
I mean, this party that Possum has is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You've got Fu, you have Murder Rosa, you have murderous, demigod Cecil, and now you have Edge, and as you pointed out, can throw all the things.
It's just weird because Possum's usual MO is to grab a party as fast as possible, but I guess he wrote the flags and he was like, no, Cecil and Rosa are too good, I can wait this time.
Yeah, he also found that crystal sword pretty quickly. He couldn't afford it right away, but there's a pink tail, there's another adamant. So he might have, with that knowledge that a crystal sword was available, and knowing that he already had Cecil in the party, he might have said, all right, I can be a lot more choosy with my other characters because, relatively quickly, I'm going to go ahead and have a crystal sword Cecil, which makes the game so much easier.
True. I wonder if CS Radical is gonna go ahead and challenge the bosses at the Fate March right away. He has the Fusoya. I mean, he's not full power yet. He has the Fusoya, and he has the Crystal Cecil. I wonder.
He does. I mean, he's got the parts built for it.
I mean, this is fine, I guess.
3 bosses are on.
Fusoya's gonna be okay if he gets healed.
Well, I hate to say it, but Eddie could have hid there, and Awesome could have maintained it. He's probably thinking about the meta objective. He doesn't want to use any healing.
So yes, it's Edward can hide from all of those waves, and he's fine.
It's true. And if they find the hook, that's a second added armor. So
I'm telling you, Edward good in this flag set.
Sure. All right. Ooh, a sparkle. That's fun.
I wonder if we'll ever, like, if it's Wyvern, I wonder if we are even going to see, like, which burn is it, because Cecil is so strong.
Yeah, there's 8,000 HP here. It's a pretty slow spot. I think the agility is only 11. I'm pretty sure Rosa still has the healing robe on, so I have to imagine.
I mean, still hitting for 2k first win, so dang, that sucks. I mean, Paladin is it just sucks pretty much in general.
Yeah, it's just one of those fights.
Oh wow, 4k, huh? Damn.
Yeah, that's a good roll. I guess this crystal sword thing is pretty good.
Who's sweating it at the second spot?
Is there anyone here that really scares him in this spot? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
Ooh, another sparkle. And now this is a wyvern that we probably, if it is wyvern, we probably won't see the witch burn.
Ooh, that. CS Radical wiping to an egg. Like again, folks, grinds in this game they seem easy because our racers are so used to doing the grinds and stuff, but all of the monsters we grind on are really strong. That's why they give a lot of EXP. So it's so easy to like miss input or go onto idle pilot and just like get to punch really hard or get fired or thunder or whatever, be it machines or sirens. So yeah, I'm unfortunate why from CS Radical, but
yeah, there are, I personally have not been playing this for terribly long, maybe about 7 or 8 months, but I lurked for a lot longer, and I definitely grew an appreciation for the little things. Like you watch, these streamers, and Possum's been around for a long time, obviously. You watch your Pancraz or any of our top elite runners. I mean, there's so many, and they handle these things with no problem whatsoever. As Possum gets a tower key from Dwarf. But yeah, it's really easy to make mistakes like that. It's all part of the learning process.
Indeed. Seal Cave is just an apple. So now we play the game of is Demist at Seal Cave for the rest of the seed.
Yeah, I have to imagine that much like Twin Harp, that will be faded for quite some time. I could easily see that being a last location. I have to imagine we must be going to the tower here since we have the tower key.
Yep, they're correct.
So CS Radical re-picking up his foo and is, speaking of mistakes, it's easy to, you could easily forget that you didn't have that, that with the wipe that you lost the character. So that was good for CS Radical to go back and make sure that he got what he needed.
When I play seeds, sometimes it like, the seeds get like compressed into one mega memory. I'm like, oh, I already did that. Oh yeah, I took a wipe, but that's fine. I already did that. And then I go the entire seed, and it's like, I'm missing something. Wonder what's up.
Yeah, and I definitely.
You realize, oh, I actually did do that, but then I wiped, and then I forgot about it. but I think I did it because in my mind I read the fight, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely why I started doing the staggered save states. I used to do everything on one save state, and then I learned that one the hard way, and never again.
Oh yeah, huh? Never again.
Ruby, potentially kind of a root boss, but not in that spot, so no worries there.
I mean, Ruby can be nasty if you have a majorly physical-oriented party that just fights. But thankfully, since we have Fusoya on the party, it's fine. But also, this bot sucks, so bye.
True. Sometimes you'll see runners go to the top of tower first if they are only one key item away from go mode, in hopes that they'll find that key item right away and there'll be no need to go ahead and do the super cannon room. Since we still need both parts of Forge as well as the Earth Crystal, Possum electing to go ahead and do the super cannon room on the way up. In Alchemy, is this even randomized?
I have in good authority that it is.
It is, okay.
Thing is, this is randomized. It was just randomized on this spot. Isn't science wonderful?
It is, or so I'm told. I don't really understand it.
Like I heard that apparently when iPods Shuffle, I think it was, were released to the public, people complained that they weren't random enough. Like they got too many repeat songs, so they had to implement a pseudo randomization into the shuffle to trick people into thinking that they were fully randomized. That's just wonderful to me.
It's that's something special. CS Radical electing to be a little safer with the strat using Fatal. That's going to get that's going to slingshot Cecil actually. So that's quite a bit of XP. So with all those levels and a Crystal Sword, I think it's going to be a little bit safer for any future egg attacks as long as Cecil does his swinging with that big sword.
Indeed, it's like since Stella already has the full power, but Fusoya doesn't. Using Fatal was such a good choice. Like coffins were available, but you're not gonna run all the way back to buy coffins with some sirens. You already have the Fusoya with the spell, so that was a great heads up play from CS Radical.
Absolutely. So CS Radical is going to go into the Baron basement, take on Odin, and then some Baron guards, and we'll find his edge and to dismay because his party is full. Meanwhile, Possum has taken care of Dr. Luge very quickly, despite it being the quote real fight.
Those were a lot of levels, and that's required. Wow. This has to be the Darkness Crystal, right? If I'm making my calculations correctly.
Or the Hook. Hook could lead to Rat Tail, which could lead to...
True.
And he has faded Twin Harp this entire time.
Oh, wow. I completely forget about Twin Harp.
Or, if it's really spicy, Package could have Demist, which could lead to... We've got some options left, Alchemy.
Oh, I guess you're right, huh? Yeah. It's easy to forget Twin Harp when, I see it lead up on the tracker, and I'm like, oh, I guess it's so deep into the city, like in my subconscious, he's done it already.
Yeah. That's also 10 key items for Possum. I can't imagine with this party he's going to grind much more. I think he's just going to go. But as he's getting his HP, trying to get his HP up to Z levels, although I think it's all apples for a shop, he'll be he's in excellent shape in the scene, to say the least.
Oh, yeah, Keisamon is still on. Thanks, Yacho. That's both of like Odin and Leviathan and Asura could have the Darkness Crystal. Well, that's a nice pickup for Possum.
That edge will have something to swing. Feel a little left out. So I wonder if he's taken these fights to try to go ahead and get enough HP on at least one character to go ahead and survive DKC, because as Jojo pointed out, K-Summon's on, and we know it's DKC at the Odin spot.
I mean, with the extra bosses that you have fought, Fusoya is in a really good spot for surviving all of the Dark Waves right away.
Yes. So you probably need about, if he's going to do the meta objective, he'll need about probably around 27, 2800 HP. So
I guess it depends on how Dark Knight Cecil feels today, whether he wants to do high rolls or low rolls.
Yeah. And also to your point earlier from the back when they used the vampire at the Beigen spot, which technically doesn't cause healing. I don't believe using a vampire will interrupt the 3 attacks and then the fight's over. And that could be a way to go ahead and replenish some HP for one of our characters. And then Possum would be through.
I believe the only thing that interrupts, that resets the Dark Wave counter is the fight command, I think.
I believe so as well. So, or possibly trying to get Kane up into the air to avoid 1 or 2 of them. Probably just 1. But I guess we'll see.
Aye, nice. Using Fatal again to defeat the guards.
Yeah, Stone has a tendency not to always hit, so Fatal's a nice safe strat. So that's a good play there.
I don't think Possum's gonna have any issues with this Dark Knight Cecil at this point.
Yeah, I'm just curious to see how he does it without healing.
I mean, Fustoy is the beefy, strong old man. He's fine.
Oh. I can't count. That's how.
Ooh, that was close though. Oh. If he had like high roll, like a little, like really high roll, Fusoya would have died. So that was lucky for him.
Well, so we'll see what he gets for his troubles.
Well,
that's a boss check, I guess.
Yes. That's not what you want to see, though.
No.
One's looking pretty haunted, huh?
Maybe. I mean, well, yeah, maybe. I mean, we still need 2 key items. Earth Crystal could be up there, and Adamant could be up there.
Yeah.
The Hook could be up there if they're being really rude. There's a lot of paths here that could be a little convoluted, a bit of a labyrinth as we try to find our go mode.
Mm-hmm. Well, with any luck from CS Radical, Goldbest might target Cecil multiple times. Let's see.
Yep. He's probably hoping for one of the stronger characters, I'm sure, to go ahead and survive these demolishes, so we'll see what happens.
Ideally, I mean, Cecil can go down, so it's going to be fine either way because Goldbase is weak to holy. So as long as... Oh, wait. All right, CS Radical didn't find the Adamant armor. Dang it.
No, that was an Eblin.
I just assumed that he had it. That's on me.
Yeah, so we'll see. I believe CS Radical did buy some Star Veils, so we'll see what happens here. Electing to go ahead and try to get Cecil up.
That's just fine.
So, if RNG is kind, Cecil should be able to go ahead and one-shot this.
Ooh.
Can I get it off?
Why?
Nicely done.
Nice work, CS Radical. Ooh, Possum is ready. I mean, without Fusoya doing quakes, probably it's gonna be. Or just swing it for 9k, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know how much. I have to imagine that the gas have quite a bit of HP here. Between Quake and Flame, they might have been able to go ahead and use that as AoE to go ahead and take them out, but they're not long for this world.
No, they're not. It's easy to like accidentally, like defeat Mylon first in this spot, but please do not do that if you value your life, because when the gas, so when the Mylon goes down first, and the gas all get really upset and start punching you. May I remind you, this is tied with the highest physical attack in the game. So if the gas start punching you, there are 4 of them and they're very fast. It sucks. be careful with this fight. It can be tricky deceptively.
I really like how you pointed out about the attack in this spot at the same time that's, I almost said Sid. Oh, God, possum. That Kane got smacked down for a 2000 HP hit.
Yeah, just be careful.
Alright, so CS Radical will be going into his Paladin fight, and hopefully we'll remember about his Warp Glitch. We'll see what Possum gets for his struggles, or for his time at the Levi spot. And that's
there it is. Did
Darkest
you
Crystal.
even fall volleys at this point? Or did you
I
flame
would.
that fight? Ooh, he's going for it.
I mean, with Crystal Sword Cecil, yes. I believe this is one of the 255 magic spots, so I don't think he'll be able to nuke here. But
all right. He did. Did he pick up Kane just for this fight?
I mean, that wouldn't shock me. At that point, he man, she's fast here.
Yeah.
Does Rosa still have the heroin robot? Oh, she's dead. Oh man, she's so fast. Oh man.
There might be need to have some changes in the whole like anchoring situation and agility situation, because
He's gonna try.
she's so gosh darn fast. Like you're gonna take her out of the tornado, she's gonna punch, big mistake, and then she's gonna go back into the tornado again so fast. But,
Yeah, but-
it might be just enough for Cecil to get some punches in. I mean, some swings.
Yeah, well, he's not gonna want to reset out because he didn't save between this and the Leviathan fight.
Yeah, you're right. Ooh, that's quite the tricky proposition from Possum. That's quite the gutsy move.
I think he's just about through though. Yeah, there it is.
Nice one. TS Radical has managed to do Paladin with no issue whatsoever. That was very nice song.
And seems to be.
Pogo will follow suit.
Well, I guess there's a Zeus Gauntlet for Edge in case they're not dealing quite enough damage.
Well, only one Masamune is not the best. My Masamune is short, so this will help.
Yeah, I mean he's really struggling for equipment here.
TS Radical finished up with Oko Pogo. Very nice. Good work, TS Radical.
So the only thing left underground would be a boss check for D-Mist at Luca, and Possum says, "Nope, I am going to the moon."
Indeed.
So at 56 minutes, or 55, 56 minutes, Possum is headed to the moon, having done the entire overworld, and basically, if you include Warp Glitch, the entire underground. That is... Oh, I'm sorry. He faded Twin Heart. My
He
fault.
faded Twin Heart. I was thinking about that. It's like Forge can be there, Earth Crystal can be there, Hook can be there, and Hook can have like Red Tail to something else. There is a possibility that it's Twin Harp to Hook to Earth Crystal to Adamant or something like that, or just Twin Harp to Earth Crystal to Adamant, and the moon is completely haunted.
It is, yeah, it's definitely possible. We had, so with K7 being on, you have, you got Bahamut, you got Pale Dim Spot, so that's 2, you have Wyvern Spot, that's 3, you've got Ribbon Room, which is 4 and 5, Ogo is 6, and White Spear is 7. So he's got 7 key item checks on the moon, looking for 2 items.
Yeah, like statistically speaking, it is a very respectable play. Like there is a very good chance that you might find what you're looking for here.
And not even going to Bahamut first. I'm a little surprised about that.
Well, I again, like the bottom of the Lunar subterrain has like 4 key items all clumped together. So he might be going for that play, like I just cleared the bottom of the Lunar subterranean, and then if I find what I'm looking for, then I'm good. I don't have to go here ever again.
That's very true. We've got some divergence. CS Radical is giving the people what they want, or at least giving Xenocat what they want. And we are going to get some music in just a little while.
Wonderful, wonderful. I'm so happy that CS Radical has taken this course of action, because finally we'll get the answer to the question to what's here in Cave Magnus. It's been eating at meat since the start of the seed.
What would be amazing is if it was like demist and then earth crystal and then the free item was like adamant rock. Like that would be something that was just like a nice dirty double like that. That would be phenomenal.
I will absolutely love that. I hope it's that.
So while CS Radical's being the hero of the stream, looks like Possum is heading down. I'd probably imagine doing Ribbon Room first for the double items. Not sure CS Radical has a quick way to go through this, so he's probably going to let it go.
Unless no, like Fusoya can't defeat like his own party at this point.
Yeah, so I think we'll just get
a. He's very fast. Like I don't know what's the agility situation here in CS Radical side, but Dark Imp was pretty fast.
And speaking of fast, very soon, very quickly, we're going to have some music, so I am going to shush for a little bit. So a lot happened in just that little bit of time. We have Bahamut going down. We're going to find our item. Meanwhile, Possum has found Demist with only 42,000 HP, so this shouldn't take too long.
Indeed. And that's not... Wow. Fate Harp paying off once again. And I love CS Radical's like little loops around it.
I mean, he's committing to his play, right? You know.
Absolutely. Like you have to follow the rabbit hole. Like you make a gamble, follow through it. Like otherwise, what's the point?
Possum is doing one of my favorite strats. Now, Crystal Sword's great, obviously, but you have Holy Resistance. We have Silver Staff strats, which takes off the Berserk.
I still can't believe that Basuna is a spell in Final Fantasy IV. It's like the spell that never was in the game. Like 3 people know about it. Like obviously more now, thanks to Free Enterprise, but it's like the spell that no one knows about. Like, oh yeah, Basuna, it heals Berserk. What? What? What do you mean?
It's incredibly specific, for sure. We're going to get some trap chest checks on CS Radical side, and there's a free Crystal Sword. Well, there's money. You know, any Sirens, J items, any of those things that he's going to want to buy, he'll be able to go ahead and do so.
Ooh. I wonder if this Radical is fishing for adamants.
It's possible. I mean, it's a good play. He has a quick way to go ahead and kill these traps. They do not take a very long time at all between the Thunderclaw on Gang and, of course, the Crystal Sword. Knowing the adamants are on, and you don't walk very far. I don't know if he's going to pick up every chest, but he might go at the ones that are nearby.
Yep. I mean, and the thing is, you don't have to go out of your way to find treasure chests for the most part in Tower of Babel.
Hmm.
That's well. I mean, that's good for Edge, I guess, but that's not progression unless Dimist is holding something.
Okay. And we'll see if Possum remembers to check Dimist, which I'm sure he will. But that's speaking of common mistakes, when we were talking about with the grind, with the white to the egg, and those are kind of the things you go through as you get used to playing this game. I feel like forgetting to check Dimist is like a rite of passage. Like everyone has done it at some point.
Absolutely. Like we're gonna have the tournament soon in March, and no matter who wins, you can be assured that they have forgotten to check the mix at some point. Like it has happened to everyone at some point.
It's a certainty. So, CS Radical going to the Super CAD room. We'll find his Rubikit, who I'm sure will meet a timely demise. And ouch! That Yang is done.
It was a Moonville and a Moria Master or Masamune, either of. What? That's nice. Ooh, Moon's looking pretty haunted. Like the hook has to be here, like maybe Demas or something.
I mean, we still have Ogo, we've still got Wyvern Spot, and we still have Pale Dim, and we still have Bahamut. We still have 4 spots.
Ooh, yeah, Bahamut's still a thing, for sure.
Mm-hmm. And we don't know who's there yet. Although there's not... We've had a lot of the rude bosses already.
Yes,
there's really... We've had Golbez, we've had Ogo, we've had Ruby. Heinazo might be a little rough-ish, maybe, if the HP is that high. Like, Heinazo at this spot would be kind of rude. Magus Sisters at the Ogo spot would be kind of rude.
Yeah.
But again, this party's loaded. So there's really nothing that's that scary.
Indeed. Oh, Old Gauntlet, yeah, maybe.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's just rude. Then, to Simcast's point...
Yeah, Moonlion still is up. Oh, no, never mind. With
the Moonveil, though, that creates Blink. And so the Moonveil, if you do get a very punchy antlion up here, you just throw that in Cecil and then let Cecil do Cecil things. It becomes basically free.
Sure enough, the punches are physical damage, but the counter, the pink counter, whatever it's called, it's actually magical damage.
Oh, that's true. That's a good point.
Now, Antlion is one of those like tricky bosses that are like very simple, but in their simplicity, they can be pretty dangerous.
It's interesting that Possum just went for a weak on the officer instead of a stone or a fatal. I wonder if he's trying to time a life glitch to go ahead and get extra HP, or if he very simply does not want to go ahead and... okay, that's probably what he was doing then. He hates 7-slot stone with food.
Very well done. That's a lot of XP.
Yeah. Life glitch on that, plus 10 key items, plus that spot. That's a lot.
Well, whoop, there it is.
And that's required.
We still need the other side of Forge, though.
We do. I have to imagine that he will full clear the moon. It just with how quickly he can go ahead and get through all of this, I have to imagine that he'll make that decision.
Yeah, like the thing, like once you're this deep into the moon, you clear the moon and then never set foot on it again. I mean, unless you find the other half of Forge, of course, then you bail. But we'll see about that.
I mean, after he full clears the moon, I mean, we have the giant, but there's no reason to do that because of the bosses, because he already found Demist. Oh, he's leaving.
He's leaving. Okay. Is he chasing the Earth Crystal?
I mean, we have a Demist.
Yeah.
And between the Demist item and Earth Crystal, maybe he's hoping, you have 3 you have 3 checks at the on the moon versus 2 checks here. And This,
Radical, CS Radical, sure, like he's lagging behind Possum, but he's been playing like really, really well. Like he's been getting these key item checks down, like one after the other, after the other. So props to CS Radical. Like he's been playing amazingly. Whoop, that's a spoon.
and even with the ability to dart it, he's bailing, and so that was the save scum.
Left the save there. I'm sorry, we don't call that save scumming. We call that expert play.
Oh, okay, okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, I learned. Oh my goodness.
Oh damn! It's the spoon on Dimis. Like this happens way too often. Like we hype up Dimis. It was like, oh wow, Dimis could be hiding anywhere. Like Dimis could have Gomu or whatever. And then it's like, here, silver staff. Here, spoon. And it's like, no, Dimis, you're not living up to the hype. Please, we're running a show here.
Oh my goodness. Does Possum want to take on that? No, he does not. I have to imagine that he's going to go ahead and keep that save slot available. But that is a lengthy gauntlet right there.
That's a grind right there. You don't even need to grind.
Yeah, I don't think Possum needs to grind. Chat pointing out that Possum still hasn't done Twin Harp. So at this point, he might be thinking, all right, I have 2 checks up here. I have Twin Harp. He doesn't know that it's a Zonk, although he probably assumes it's a Zonk. And he can go ahead and fall Earth Crystal. So if you're Possum, for routing purposes, do you do Twin Harp first and then do Zot?
It's for sale at Dwarf Castle. That's wonderful knowledge for CS Radical.
It is.
You might have to grind some, like to get some treasure chests for that. But honestly, it's like 500,000. Like sure, it's a lot, but it's an adamant armor.
I mean, if they end up doing the gauntlet at the Crystal Store, they might have close to enough money for that adamant.
Some people in chat pointing out like SOT is an objective. So by doing SOT, you're like progression, like doing progression on the state. And if you find something, well, that's great. But if you don't find anything, well, you have to do it anyways, right?
Yeah, my point bringing that up is the reason I bring that is because when you complete the Tower of Zot, you end up back at Baron. Whereas if you were to go ahead and do Twin Harp first, you stay in the Troy area and then can very quickly get right up Zot. So the issue is a matter of routing.
So, oh yeah, and Sina got pointing out in chat that, you know, well, that puts you, that you clear SOT and it puts you down in front of Garen, and then turns out like once you set foot inside of the giant, a black chocobo spawns in Baron chocobo forest to like avoid soft locks. Like that's a thing that happens in the vanilla game too. So you can use that to go to Magnus.
That's all very true. So I think Possum killed Wyvern too quick.
Yes. I had assumed that we were not going to see which one is in this scene. That's okay.
So that is a Porum. Don't let the names confuse you. We'll see who else is here that we cannot take since our party is full and we have Permajoin.
So CS Radical opting to get the rest of the levels like out of the way.
Yeah.
Wow, the twins were here, huh?
Yep. So technically, despite Possum's best efforts, that's correct. Palm and Porum did join. So try as you might, my friends. Rando finds a way.
Rando finds a way, indeed.
Alright.
I forget which one's which sometimes. I
don't Mylon Z. Goodbye, Mylon Z.
Oh, what's that? What? Mylon Z? I don't see anything. find solutions before.
Oh my goodness gracious.
It's like aside from objective, is Earth like it's not gonna give anything. Like it's not gonna give the adamant, or is the adamant the gosh darn gauntlet?
I mean, we have it could be the adamant, and that'll be that, and he'll hop the pass and go, or it could be hook to rat tail. We already know where the spoon is.
Yes.
Or it could be a zonk. Oh.
I mean, the chain continues.
So I believe he already raised the hovercraft. So that'll be, I think he did Dempsey and...
I believe he did check the free character in Dempsey a while back.
Yeah, so he'll be able to do this right away. So he'll be more than likely picking up his second adamant as well, since he has a pigtail.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Even if the rat tail is nothing important, that's still another adamant armor. Well, speaking of adamant, that's
what adamant and adamant. That is go mode for Possum at 1 hour and 13 minutes. 1 adamant, 2 adamant,
In the race room, Possum did say, "Hey, I'm here to 17 out of 17 this seed." So I guess he delivered.
Yeah, it won't show up on the because he hard quit out of the spoon, but you know, to 17 out of 17 the seed in 74 minutes is absolutely absurd. It's ridiculous.
So, is he gonna put the adamant on Soya or Edge? I doubt he'd put it on K. Edge mainly.
Double Massa, Zeus Gauntlet, Adamant, Edge. I would assume it'd be Edge because you're probably gonna do hybrid strats, or it might even be faster just to do full blown Berserk and just let him go.
Yeah, you circle those 2 boys and let it rip.
So if I had to guess, it's probably gonna go on Edge.
Yeah, that's a fair point. And are these gonna be the Perseus bow or the arrows?
The arrows.
Do you circle Rosa too?
I mean, you could. I mean, Possum's cheeky. He's a cheeky marsupial.
What's the attack power on this? Hold on.
CS Radical might still be looking for a adamant, taking on the trap chest and the Fey March. Maybe looking for something to be a little beefy before taking on the Fey March bosses, which will, once he gets through the Leviathan spot, will be able to go ahead and get his Darkness Crystal.
Yeah, so Perseus arrows are 95 attack power arrows, and you put that together with Artemis bow and a Heroine robe. You know?
Yeah. The only thing you gotta worry about is this is Sea Hero. Like, that agility is gonna be through the roof.
Relative agility 3 serums. Let's go, Possum. Let's go.
Oh, here we go.
Adamant armor or Rosa while having a protect ring. So I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I have to imagine that chat might be feeling a little sleepy, even if it's such a deep sleep that we don't quite see the snoring. I'd have to imagine that you know, they're feeling a little bit fatigued over here as Murder Rosa is getting ready to go. Thank you, Scala. I think Scala put that Z flag in the chat. Alchemy.
Because we are going to go ahead and fight the final boss of the game, which is always Ceromus. And this is because Ceromus' script is too big and he has too many powerful spells. We can't put him anywhere else. So instead of randomizing where he is, we randomize what he looks like. So, can you do the honors?
Sure. Let's find out whose butt are we going to kick? And then follow up with the 15 questions of how many butts, including 0. Is it cute? Is it a cute butt? Can we see the butts? Lots of butt questions that my 7-year-old would find hilarious.
And my favorite question from community member Alexel, who is Ceromus cosplaying as?
And Lord Goober, your epic depictions always crack me up.
Indeed. I think Mylon is gonna have a very bad time. That's
I think, yeah.
I saw CS Radical hovering over that medium. God, I want it so bad, but it's gonna take too long.
It is. So
that looks very fast. I don't know about you.
yeah. I mean, I think Possum picked up a couple of silk webs, so that'll serve not only as a nerf but also slowing this down a little bit. But he can also deal just a ridiculous amount of damage. So.
Oh, that's very small.
That's very small.
I don't know who that is.
Either. Oh,
But whoever that is, it's gonna have a very bad time.
it is.
Oh, it's Jantoto! Shit, the sprite was so small, I couldn't discern. But Smapety went, oh! And there you go, that's Jantoto for Final Fantasy XI. Sure enough.
Let's see. Adamant Rosa getting nuked for 12. How much? For an Adamant armor, that's quite a bit of damage taken there. I'm a little surprised at that.
Jantoto flinging nukes and big bangs feels awfully appropriate.
CS Radical has. I'm sorry, Scala. My humblest apologies. CS Radical has picked up his Darkness Crystal and might be going for the Assure spot as well, only to find a Zeus Gauntlet there, but of course he doesn't know that.
Sure enough. I don't think Possum's gonna have any issues. Like sure enough, the agility situation might be a little haha funny, but the damage is coming.
He's putting out a ridiculous amount of damage. This is not going to be a problem at all.
CS Radical facing Valvalis without the decay that Possum had.
Yep,
CS
so
Radical has some good levels backing him up this time.
that's true. So he will have to do melee attacks only. Fu's magic will not be terribly useful in the spot.
But I think he can pull it off. Like even Jang is doing some pretty decent damage through the physical evade that Valvalis gets into the tornado form. It's also doing direct nukes. Yes, he is.
Because you can't imagine that's for a nerf. I think that's just Possum being Possum.
Yes. I mean, the nerf is just like a nice consequence of it.
For sure. Oh, a second Big Bang. That was a nerf.
I see.
And timed out beautifully. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, when you get to the RAs being this high, the relative agility being this high, we get used to everyone being in RA1 or everyone being in RA1 or RA2. With Rosa being so quick, sometimes that can really mess with the timing.
There's rocks.
So
next week we'll do it. GG's Possum.
GG's.
That's the first place finisher, Possum Orpheus. Yeah, there are like 8 other players in this race. Well, Possum's the first one to finish. Great work.
So 17 out of 17 the seed and doing just about every spot, with the exception of about 3 or 4 in terms of key item spots. On K, Main, Moon, and Summon in 80 minutes. That is a clinic being put on.
Hello, Possum.
Greetings and salutations, friends.
Hey, buddy.
Nice work. You beat the island.
Yeah, slayed the beast, apparently, or something like that. Crystal Sword's good, though.
Sure is.
I think I saw that in the wiki.
This result was not as surprised. This thing played as intended for once.
Hey, buddy.
Nice work.
Yeah, I mean, there was a nice scattered bit of stuff floating around. I was just waiting for that demist to be required. I'm not gonna lie. I was like thinking the whole time, demist is gonna have something. And there it was at 42,000 health worth of demist. So I was like, well, this surely has to have something. And then it didn't, and then I saw the alt gauntlet. I was like, well, that's going to be the last thing we do now.
Although I love how, Crystal Sword Cecil and Double Massa Edge and Admin Armors and all this equipment. And of course, you remember to go ahead and keep your Silver Staff nice and handy, just in case we go ahead and find a situation where, we need to go ahead and Zerk for Demist.
Well, I mean, it's either going to be Silver Staff or Nuke, so Silver Staff is slightly less violent.
Again, I keep forgetting Basuna is a spell that exists until someone goes and uses a Silver Staff. And I'm like, oh, that's like the weird white magic spell that barely exists in this game, huh?
Yeah, it's definitely a thing. Something that I learned from Inven many moons ago now, was using the Silver Staff for sneaky strats like that.
Like it's either that or like a unicorn or something like that, which is too expensive and rare. So I wanted to ask, for a while there, like I thought you were gonna be super cheeky and just do like power couples, just like the whole scene. That you were going to reject every single character and just go, yeah, hell yeah, Rosa and Cecil, because that's a very good thing.
I was literally going to do that until Fu showed up. That was actually something I was planning on. I was like, well, that's a Fu. I can't reject Fu. I mean Tella. I mean Fu. Like, it would just be silly to do that. So I held out as long as I reasonably could.
If Warp Glitch had been off, would you have still taken Fu?
That's a really good question. I don't know. Like, it was one of those things where I was like, this is super fun. I can do this with just these two. I have the Crystal Sword. I went diving in Eblin because I knew all three trap chests were on the right tower. I was like, well, that's 3 really quick shots at adamant armors or other things that I can sell and maybe scrounge up money for adamants. And it just so happened the first chest I opened was like, oh, hey, here's an adamant armor. I'm like, do I take this Fu? I guess I will. It's just more power, more gas for the fire.
Speaking of your names, did you notice how you got thwarted at Zot because both Palom and Porum were there? And so the literal text on the screen said that Palom and Porum joined the party. So despite your best efforts in that moment, the game got the better part of you, my friend.
It wasn't the only time. The very start, Rosa and Cecil showed up.
Oh, true.
So
True.
There were 2 instances of that. I did like when Tella and Rydia showed up in Mysidia, though. It said Edge and Fusoya have joined the party. If only.
Later, I guess.
I hope I got y'all at least once. That was the goal.
You did. I did.
Good.
And I would lie, but this is being recorded, and the VOD will be there, and the evidence, I can't get away from it.
Perfect. Mission accomplished.
Yeah. Ordeals. You love your Ordeals grinds. Was that just like one fight to get some levels on Cecil, or were you trying to get a spell for Rosa?
Just a couple levels on him. The early levels, like that extra 8 or 9 levels that he gets off of those fights, that's going to give him an entire extra multiplier in a lot of cases, and with a Crystal Sword, the multipliers are pretty important. So that was the idea behind that. Take one quick fight. I was hoping for either a single Lilith or the 1 Lilith and 2 Red Bones, because they're just easier to manage, but I settled for the what was it, 2 souls and 2 zombies, I think. The 7 zombies was not happening, because I had no AoE, no bombs or anything like that.
So the last thing I wanted to ask you is that, so adamant armor on Rosa as an anchor? Oh.
Well, I mean, the right play was Edge, but it's also not a bad idea to have a fast healer. So like 24 agility is still, pardon my French here, it's crap. 39 is also crap, but at least that means my healer can cast Cure 4 a lot and Berserk a lot. So it's kind of 6 and 1/2 dozen the other. Like, I have Crystal Sword, Adamant, Zeus Gauntlet, whatever, Cecil. It doesn't matter.
I mean,
it doesn't matter.
You still had to heal with Rosa, and like I saw you nerf the 2 big bangs were nerfed, so there was some danger, but it was fine.
I mean, air quotes danger. Like, I guess if I don't nerf the second Big Bang, it's awkward. But okay.
The Dark Knight Cecil down at the Odin spot. I assume that you very much wanted our meta objective of no healing items during the battles, and that's why you exited out?
I even typed as much in my own chat saying, yep, can't do this right now because of the meta objective.
Got it.
Yep, that was exactly it.
And the weak cast on the officer down at the Ogo spot, was that to time a life glitch, or was that because you're not too center slot Fu and Stone is not always your friend?
I wanted a little extra XP, and that was a good place to get it. I only bought 3 sirens, used 1 very early, used 2 once I got 10 key items. So I just figured if I can get the weak and Cecil hits the officer as opposed to hitting the remaining guard, it's basically a 50-50 at like 60,000 extra XP. So why not take the chance on it?
Just flip a coin, the EXP coin.
Yep.
Okay, so thanks a lot, Possum. Great race as always. You got the better Willem. Nice to see. And so you aren't able to pick the next character because there's only one. It's gotta be Talon Cecil. But next time no one meets a meta objective, I'll be asking you to pick it. Even in Season 2. Yeah, that's the reward you get for winning the second to last flag set. You can pick.
I like rewards.
And apologies in advance to anyone else who tries whatever Possum picks.
It'll just be difficulty 10 out of 10 immediately right off the bat. Welcome to the fire, friends. That'll be the plan.
Guess we'll see what flags to pick up for Season 2. So thanks a lot again, Possum. GG's. We'll see you next week.
Thank you as always, Alchemy, for putting these on. They're great. Love the club. You're doing a wonderful job with it. Keep it up. And thank you for always doing great comms. Thank you, John, as well, for doing the comms. Always fantastic. Smapety for the restream. And Beauty, I think this was your first time tracking, and if so, I'm sure you did an amazing job as well. So thank you, everyone.
He has.
All right. Thank you so much, man. We appreciate you.
No, Xenocat, I will not design a Elite 3 flag set. Stop it.
Hold on. How do I ban a Xenocat from the chat? Hold on. Exclamation point. Stop it. Is that? Let me try.
Here's getting the bad news that
getting the bad news.
This is 43k HP worth of demist.
Yep, and that nuke's not going to land. While we were chatting with Possum, he did find a cursed ring as he was looting a little bit on the way down to the Baron Throne. So we'll see if, technically, I mean, Pella sort of counts as a white mage, so you have to wonder if, for the Z fight, he'll end up throwing that cursed ring on Rosa for agility purposes, and we'll use Fu and Tella for healing.
Sure thing. I wonder, if you cursed Rosa, sure, she's gonna get that agility penalty, but I wonder if it's gonna be enough. Rosa gets pretty fast. Like Possum said, Rosa was 24 agility at the levels he was in. So it might be better to instead give Rosa a crystal ring if you found any, to put her to 28 agility for a relative agility 2 Ceremas.
That's true, yeah. For those that don't know, relative agility it's very, very complicated, but the very long story short with the Z fight is that you're basically looking for multiples of 24 or just above it. So 14, 28, 42, etc. It kind of puts everyone on the same attack pattern in terms of how many chances they'll get to take an action. So when you're just below those multiples of 14, it's a little bit rough. The curse ring takes off 15 agility, but to Alchemy's point, she's 100% right, that's not going to really do that much. Whereas a crystal ring gives a nice little 5 agility bump, or a ninja hat gives a... Yes, Xenocat. Right. Xenocat corrected me that 14 itself is not great. So, Alchemy, you are 100% correct. Something to boost the agility might actually be good.
A cool thing that you can do is equip an Artemis bow for the 10 agility bonus, and then remove it in the middle of the fight, because relative agility is set at the start of the fight. but then you can remove the bow and equip a staff from Rosa to get all her casting stats up again.
That's correct. And while Possum never did find that arty bow, CS Radical very much did.
CS Radical did find it, so that's great. I hope CS Radical realizes that that's an option.
Yeah. So
he missed punches pretty hard, huh?
A little bit, just a very little bit. But as CS Radical has been able to do his fights very well, while this one is certainly time-consuming and a bit of a slog, I think this is a good time to shout out the restream staff. We have who do we have today? Beauty Discovery doing our tracking for the first time and doing a wonderful job. Smepai doing our restream, which is just a phenomenal amount of work. And we have my co-commentator, Alchemy, our club captain, who designed this flag set today.
Thank you. And shoutouts to our racers, Possum Morpheus, a community staple that has been around for a while. And CS Radical, one of the wonderful Pink Puffs, which is the newbie club that we have here in Free Enterprise community, which you can join here in the Discord. And which is managed by wonderful community member Aska, and it like CS Radical is one of our more recent additions to the community. But he's playing a wonderful game right about now. He's just tearing this street and doing a good job.
When you factor in the newness factor, it makes it all the more impressive. Because we talked about how Possum's gone through most of the main spots for key item checks. So is CS Radical.
Yeah.
One of the things I really love about this community is just how incredibly kind and everyone is with their knowledge. When we were doing the interview with Possum, and he was talking about Invenerable gifting knowledge about the Silver Staff. You go on the wiki, you just see just loads of information. It makes it so welcoming and open for anyone that wants to go ahead and start playing, just to go ahead and play. I personally believe this is just the nicest place on the internet, which might be a low bar to set because it's the internet. But regardless, I really believe that this community is in fact just the nicest people, and it's a blessing to be a part of.
We'll take it still.
Yeah.
So, like, CS Radical getting so the fun thing about Jiang is that if you have Cecil, Jiang does 2 attacks and then a kick, and I believe that if you attack with Cecil after the kick, there's a trigger for the fight that just ends the fight. It's like a story trigger and just ends the fight. So as long as you have Cecil, you don't have to weather much of correcting Nance attacks.
That definitely counts as a free boss. It's some point between that kick, or between that second attack and then the second kick. I usually end up waiting for the second kick, but you are correct. You can get it after the third overall attack that he does.
Yeah, timing's a little iffy. I forget exactly, but yeah, you can end the fight early. Also, someone was asking Demion in chat, hitting exactly 0 agility is very fun times because it sets every single actor that is like entity fighter in the fight at the relative agility 1, so everyone's super fast. Absolutely everyone. It is wacky as heck.
So we'll see what strats we use here. We have 2 old men that can go ahead and try to cast stone here, so if Tella does Tella things and misses...
I mean, we also have the backup of Berserk Cecil, just in case.
Yeah. And speaking of backup, this quick will take out, so either this hits or they run away. But either way, CS Radical is through. Hey, we got it.
That's full EXP. Sermus is gonna be quaking his boots. Well, there's the Earth Crystal.
Mm-hmm. So CS Radical has a decision to make. We know that this leads to the hook, which leads to Rat Tail Turn-In. But CS Radical is going to have to go ahead and make a decision about how he wants to proceed. If he's going to look at the Pale Dim spot, or look at the Wyvern spot, or simply save and go. And there's our answer.
Well, bye.
So this will end up being the correct decision for CS Radical. More than likely, we'll be heading directly up to Zot.
Didn't even like. Yeah, I don't think CS Radical found the old gauntlet. It was just like a decision that CS Radical made on his own.
I don't believe you stopped at the Crystal Sword altar. So, there's a mantra which is do your objectives. And while that can get a little complicated with trying to maximize your routing, Power of Zot's an objective. He's got the Earth Crystal, and I think he's just going to go.
Yeah, like absolutely. And if I recall correctly, Zot did give the hook, right?
I wrote it down this time. Zot did lead to the hook, and then the hook, the rat tail turn-in led to the adamant. So he'll find his spoon here, which I don't believe he'll have any use for without an eddy or an edge. And then he is in go mode. He just doesn't realize it.
I mean, yes, he'll get there though.
Well, he's not with his party, his levels, his equipment, and with the ability that he has put on display today, he's not going to have any problem getting through Zot. I have to imagine that he will immediately launch the hovercraft if he hasn't already and go turn the rat tail as well as his pink tail, get an extra adamant, and then take on his Z fight. So he's well underway. You have a rate that treasury, Alchemy.
Wow, I didn't think like CS Radical, a gang, they're wasted for the people. Opening the treasury, we get to play our favorite game, right? That treasury.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Well, let's do that. Nice. Okay, good.
There's the agility buffer.
Okay. Wow. This is DT Wildish. Oh, what Charm Harp. Oh.
How did that Charm Harp get in there?
I don't know. Who smuggled a Charm Harp into this treasure?
Maybe Possum went through and changed the names in the chests too, and that's not real because that's the only explanation I have.
Yeah, that's like an Apollo harp right there or something.
That's a nice.
Crystal. Crystal Cecil.
Crystal Zeus Gauntlet Cecil. Power shirt.
It's just, there's something satisfying. Like I know Crystal Armor isn't the best, balance-wise, the best piece of equipment for Cecil because it's a defensive equipment instead of offensive. Mm-hmm. But gosh darn, does it feel nice to open the equipment menu on Cecil and see everything saying Crystal from top to bottom?
It is extremely satisfying. There's no question. My daughter is really into Minecraft, and so we have a world together, and we just got like all netherite, and so that kid was so excited to see full-blown netherite armor. So I imagine that if she were to see this, ooh, crystal, shiny, so shiny beauty.
I mean, honestly, like I have only played on Minecraft like a little bit, but let's be real, I completely relate to your daughter. Shiny good. Dude.
No, she's 7 and she's so good. She's so ridiculously good, And she's like, Dad, you make it like this. I'm like, honey, baby, I don't know. Like, I swore that I would never be like that old person that doesn't know how to use technology. And like, there she is, like showing me where to put the flint to make an arrow. I'm like, okay, sweetheart, thank you. She's like, oh, Dad.
I also don't know how to make most things in Minecraft. That's a skill you learn.
Google's my friend. CS Radical was going to swag walk. I decided to do a little bit of safety. Probably a good decision. You can end up with something rude. Was this Wyvern? I think this was Wyvern. Speaking of rude things.
Okay. At this power level, Wyvern is not going to be an issue, but we have had a race in this club where Wyvern had a wave attack. I mean the Kinesis wave attack as an opener. So that's something that can happen. So, better safe than sorry.
I am just now noticing that J commands are off, which means that Yang this entire time has not been able to do his power punch.
J command is off?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Next time it pops up, I think it's only fight and kick.
Right, you're completely right. I forgot to click the button. What?
No, you didn't forget. It's part of the flag set. It's part of the Rosa cannon.
Yes, of course. It was all planned from the very beginning. I was just
Absolutely.
testing you. So, Telegrant has finished in third place with a time of 1 hour, 39 minutes, 32 seconds. Telegrant and another newish member of the community. Great work finishing third place with all of these titans of racing. Good job.
And 3rd out of 9 overall for a new runner. That's wonderful. So congrats to Grant for sure.
Oh boy.
Hello, Mylon.
I saw a joke in chat that was like Mylon C, but like with a C for Mylon Crumb, like Mylon Crumble, and I thought it was the most hilarious thing.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's hilarious. All right, well, Mylon, thank you for stopping by. CS Radical is going to get his hook, which more than likely will bring him down to go mode.
And Sneaky has finished in 4th place with a time of 1 hour, 43 minutes, 22 seconds, which is another new name that I've been seeing popping around. So fantastic, good job.
And I think with the Adamant Cup being announced, I think we're going to be seeing a lot of new runners in a month or so.
Oh, I hope so. The wonderful thing about the Adamant Cup is, as the name indicates, Adamant armors are on, and it's a lot like this kind of states where you just find the power early and let it carry you through the seed, and how you use that power is the right call. So there's the command in chat, and folks, it's gonna be a lot of fun. So if you're interested, like, join the Discord and like join the tournament, even if it's like you're not like amazing at the game, it will still be a lot of fun, and the flexibility is very accessible.
Yes. Looks like Radical is maybe okay.
I wonder what Radical was searching for in that one.
I mean, so we'll have to ask. I'm willing to bet that in my brain, you know, when it's functioning at whatever level it functions at, I know that I think, oh, if I'm gonna use the hook, I go to this place, right? So like, there's like a muscle memory part of like, oh, I got the hook, so let me go ahead and go here. So it might have been that. Maybe he was thinking about going to the shop for a hot second as he picks up his second adamant armor. But changed his mind, and with that rat tail turn in, we are in go mode at 1 hour and 44 minutes for CS Radical.
Good job, CS Radical. Let's go.
Absolutely.
There it is. Crystal Adamant says, finally, the legacy, the legend comes to life.
Like the Triforce being completed.
No, sorry, Legacy is another club, my bad.
Oh, that's okay. That's all right. we'll let it go this time.
Thank you.
All right, so we should be, I guess, on the lookout for any kind of. He's still got to do the forge. That's the kind of thing I would do.
Absolutely, 100% same.
Yeah. So that agility 26 with the
ninja hat.
raid ninja hat is +3. That puts him at 29, which makes this fight even more doable and safe. I'll never say a Z fight is easy, because they're not. But it's definitely an added bit of safety to have a really nice agility on your anchor.
Like the C fight is basically like a numbers check for the most part, but because Final Fantasy IV it's kind of a peculiar game, we have managed to lower the numbers that we can do the fight at lower and lower and lower and lower as time went on. So we have turned like kind of numbers on levels check, like Big Bang does like 2000 damage, so like 2000 HP, so you have to 2000 HP to like something bonkers low, like so we just do Cerberus at like level 45 now. So the Cerberus is always dangerous, pretty much.
Without a doubt. Absolutely, especially on C Hero.
Yes, the duty situation can be pretty wonky.
During that forge, Tybolt has finished the race in 5th place with a time of 1 hour, 45 minutes, and 29 seconds. So congratulations to him.
So yeah, that Coco show was pretty disappointing overall.
Yeah, that's the beauty of S Wild.
S Wild is completely random. and we mean that it's completely random. It doesn't matter which shop it is. It's just a shop.
So that's a shop that exists.
Like we are so used to like T Pro and T Standard or whatever. No, that I mean it's like S Standard and stuff. Nope, this is as well.
Yeah. So we'll see if Radical does any agility manipulation. The party's pretty stacked. We'll see what happens here. I'm worried. Was that the battle message or the battle speed that he just set to 3?
I think it was the battle message. I'm not 100% sure. Can anyone in chat confirm?
Yeah, I've definitely done that. Lord knows. Pretty savvy move, picking up those elixirs at a Cure 3.
So again, the meta objective was to not use any healing items, but folks, it is an optional meta objective. It's there for like flavor and like an extra bit of challenge. So if CS Radical doesn't want to use items that doesn't want to do the meta objective, that's completely fine. I'm not gonna get upset. Not in public, anyways.
Beauty's all good. No worries, my friend. So 26 agility. Let's see if he's just going for it.
He's going for it.
Let's go. Let's go. So I think we're gonna have battle speed 1 and 26. So this is definitely not a given. This has the potential, despite the equipment, to be a little bit of a challenging fight.
If you pull it off, the swag, right? Like, oh yeah, I did. Agility, like battle speed 1, 26
Absolutely.
agility. Cerberus.
And it could be, honestly, it could be like a bit of an unintentional confidence boost, for a relatively new runner. Oh man, I can't do Z at battle speed 1. Well, guess what, buddy? Whether you realize it or not, you just crushed it. So good for you.
So we're going to see the second instance of Shantoro as disease, right? For people that missed it.
Yeah, and we're seeing those shakes pretty quick there.
Boy, oh boy.
6 Bacchus, so plenty of. If we see some black holes, we're not going to have any real issues there. That Yang is going to punch something fierce. So I think we're between Crystal Sword Cecil with the Adamant, a very high level Yang. We're going to see quite a bit of damage coming out here.
Wow, 5k HP Yang, huh?
Yep. And even if this does get a little topsy-turvy, clearly he'll be able to go ahead and
HP levels to get through this for sure.
So while CS Radical is getting set here, and he's off to a very good start. He's already reflecting nukes and has zerked up fighters. We have Scythe Marshall, who finished the race in 6th place with with a time of 1 hour, 49 minutes, and 55 seconds. And with a very generous bit of RNG, that's a great target for that reflective nuke.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. You always love to see, like, setting up a Starvel, and then you just nerf the big bang, and it just hits the person you have to be with the Starvel. It's just the most satisfying feeling.
And with a white reflect going through here, I guess taking advantage of the kind of inflated HP numbers here. I think even Tello might even survive this first big bang, which you don't see very often.
Ooh, he does. Oh wow, you love to see it.
I'm gonna go ahead and write down to ask about that. We only have room for one old man this seed. Is that asserting your dominance with a bonk bonk?
He bonked for like 50 damage too, and he down.
Perfectly calculated.
Absolutely
that's yeah, that's phenomenal.
Absolutely incredible.
Oh my goodness.
Take a nap, old man.
All right, so between the
Ooh, that's once I had a fight on sea fight on Restream that I kept putting up walls on Fusoya and then down in Fusoya because the walls kept running out. And after the fact, I called the fight Friends of Fusoya, and I thought I was the most clever person in the planet. Like, oh yeah, I did Friends of Fusoya because Fusoya kept getting down by the party spells.
Oh my goodness.
Ooh.
So that nerf might have been a little bit late. I guess we'll see here. Oh, no.
I mean, it's still good. You still have Fusoya. Fusoya can heal, and the swings are coming.
Yep. And we got rocks. This fight is just about all but done.
Indeed.
Okay, one more swing from Cecil, and that'll be that.
And there it is. GG's Radical with a time of 1 hour 52 minutes and 39 seconds.
So congrats to CS Radical, and we'll see if he wants to pop in for an interview. If he does, I'm sure we can ask about the murder, not of Z, but murder of Tella.
Yeah, like C was fine. You know, like, yeah, we do this. Okay. Hi, CS Radical.
Hello, just give me 1 sec here to...
Sure.
Yeah.
Tell us.
There we go, what's up?
Oh,
What's
GG's.
Like, what is up with you? Or with your Fusoya? What's up with that?
Yeah, can we talk about the murder of Tella?
Look. The canon says that Meteor just doesn't work, so you have to put a stop to it. And considering how dumb this entire run has been, I figured one more meme to end it off was a good way to deal with it, you know?
100%. I could not be more agreement. Thank you very much for that wonderful treasure you have given us.
Well, I mean, I had to give you at least one, like, intentionally funny one, unlike, you know, failing a siren because of 1 HP, missing a save, you know.
Listen, we were talking on stream that for those that lurk, as a lot of us have started in this community by lurking first and watching second, you realize a lot of the things that we take for granted, like doing a siren grind or remembering to save at a certain spot, you know, those things are just that. We take them for granted because it has to be actually done. You're in the Pink Puffs, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah, so relatively new to the community, going toe-to-toe with the giant and possum, and Alchemy and I were talking, you know, with I understand being frustrated about those couple of things, but you handled a lot of the bosses really, really, really well, to the point where no one would know that you are relatively new. So I would much rather fixate on that than a couple of the little slip-ups that we've all done from time to time.
Oh no! In all honesty, I'm not upset. Every time that I made a really silly mistake, I was laughing. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, of course I'm being restreamed. Of course I forgot to save. Of course I died to Cyrus.
The stress of being restreamed is very real.
I was like doing like the CMOS Sum 4 practice, and I was stealing sirens with Edge, and like you down your whole party so Edge can steal sirens like as the only party member, so he gets a lot of turns. Turns out, did you know that when Edge sometimes fails to steal, he gets damaged, and he was at like 1 HP? It's true. He gets damaged. And I lost like 20 minutes. It was so funny.
Sometimes you learn the most insignificant things in the worst possible of times. It's just how it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's always something to learn in this game. Like I'm almost 38 years old. I grew up on this game, and I watch a lot of it, and then whatever I will still continue to learn new things when I watch new streams. So I feel like the learning never stops.
It's going to become a growing segment every time I start commentating in this lovely randomizer we have here. Every time it's going to be, okay, what one completely obscure thing that I never knew before after playing this game 100 times am I going to finally learn?
Yeah, absolutely. There are so many like niche interactions, little tiny things, little nuggets of knowledge that you can apply to the randomizer. It's one of the amazing things of this game, honestly.
So did you have any overall thoughts on the seed itself, or the flags, or how did you just feel about the race in general?
Oh, it was a pretty standard race. It's just one of those things where, you know, you take a couple of guesses, doesn't quite work out the way you want. I mean, I was hoping that Twin Harbor worked out to catch up, you know, figure, okay, Possum might, you know, fade that for a little bit longer. I might as well take a jab at that while I'm at it.
Correct.
But I mean, in terms of like anything that I ran into, like apart from just the D-miss being a little bit annoying and then obviously not giving anything, I mean, realistically, like if this was a relative newcomer to come in and play the seed, it wouldn't be like the hardest thing to go through. It's actually pretty stable for most people.
Good. That was the point. So I'm very happy to hear that.
That's all the questions I have. Thank you for restreaming. It is for me at least. I know that the nerves pop up a little bit, and every time we have people that are willing to be restreamed, it gives us a little more visibility in the community, and it gives us all something to watch, either actively or in the background, or just adding to people's day. So thank you so much for doing that.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Hope you guys enjoyed the entertaining show I was putting on there.
I absolutely did. You regret in a lot of ways.
No such thing.
Thanks a lot, Sister Radical. GG's again.
Yeah, take care, guys.
GG's. All right, Alchemy, another successful community club. I want to echo everyone's sentiments with the work that you've done with this. These are great races, great seeds, and a lot of fun for everybody.
Thank you. We are going to be the free interface fun is over for now, but we are going to leave you with a friend of the community, Netara, who is doing some pretty cool Final Fantasy XIV content coming your way. So stick around, folks.
All right. In the meantime, thank you all for hopping in. If you have questions about Final Fantasy Free Enterprise, please hop onto our Discord. You can talk to literally anybody, and we'll all be happy to answer any questions that you have.